am Mica, and together with my team, Jinalyn and Jhermaine, today we will talk about Korea. Oops, not your favorite Oppa, but the famous structure, culture, and the history of South Korea.
Yesterday's theory is today's history.
The history of Korean architecture. Korea, which had been an independent kingdom of its long history, was conquered by Japan from 1905 to 1910 following the Russo-Japanese War. The entire peninsula was formally annexed by Tokyo. Following Japan's surrender to the United States in 1945, Korea regained its freedom. In the south of the Korean peninsula, a democratic government, Republic of Korea, was established, while in the north, a communist government, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, was established. From the 14th century through the beginning of the 20th century, Joseon architecture is defined. In 1932, the Joseon dynasty was established, bringing to power like-minded men who were educated in Neo-Confucianism, a religion that had quietly spread from China to Korea in the 14th century.
Geographic location. Korea comprises the Korean peninsula, the mainland, and 3,960 nearby islands. The peninsula is located in the Northeast Asia between China and Japan. To the northwest, the Amuk River separates Korea from Japan, and to the northeast, the Numan River separates Korea from China and Russia. The Yellow Sea lies to the west, the East China Sea and Korea Strait to the south, and the Sea of Japan to the east. Notable islands include Jeju Island, Olyo Island, and the Lionport Rocks. At 223,176 km square, the area of Korea is similar to the area of the United Kingdom or the US state of Minnesota.
Geological influence. In Korean architecture's geological influence, South Korea consists in large part of Precambrian rocks, more than about 540 million years old, such as the granite and granites. The country is largely mountainous with small valleys and narrow coastal plains. For the 1st century BCE, Korean architecture was influenced by the Chinese. After the unification of the Korean peninsula into the Kingdom of United Silla in the 2nd century, the culture of the Tang dynasty was absorbed and modified to create a unique Korean culture identity. Buddhist art and architecture flourished, and great temples were built. The founding of the Joseon dynasty in 1392 introduced Neo-Confucian ideals, which were expressed in architectural forms that emphasized veneration for ancestors and favored practicality, frugality, and harmony with nature. A consistent architectural style, graceful, elegant, appeared throughout Korean society.
The Korean religious factor. South Korea has a wide range of religions. A small percentage of South Koreans are non-religious. Among individuals who adhere to a formal religion, Buddhism and Christianity are the most popular confessions. The most influential religions in the lives of South Koreans are Buddhism and Confucianism. In Korea, the Constitution guarantees religious freedom. A survey conducted in 1995 showed that 50.7% of Koreans adhere to a particular religious faith. Buddhists make up 46% of the religious populations, followed by Protestants 39%, Catholic 13%, and Muslims 13%.
Traditional Korean roof. Nyowa single roof. Nyowa jib is a single roof that can be seen in the mountain villages, for example in Gangwon-do, since these are places where are hard to get materials such as giwa and rice straw. Giwa. Giwa is a construction material for foot roofing. It is also called gaywa. One of the basic forms of giwa is amikwa or flat giwa and sukiwa or round giwa. One giwa can be made by putting together two of these. Roofs are generally made by this way. And the other traditional Korean roof are byeochib or rice straw roof, stone giwa or pine roof, yoksei, yolila roof, gulpi, oak bark roof.
Basoksa Temple. The first temple that established by the famed monk Huizang Liasa in 625 to 702 AD, under the royal decree of King Munmu of Silla. The Bosuksa Temple means floating rock temple in English that is located in Yeongjo, Gyeongsangbuk-do. It's also one of the Korea's most famous temples. Bosuksa Temple is home to 5 national treasures and 5 additional Korean treasures. There were a few reasons for the Silla Kingdom's royal support in establishing Bosuksa Temple. The first is that it would help promote the ideas behind Wayom Buddhism throughout the Korean peninsula. In Bosuksa Temple would also act as the base to help spread the messages of Wayom Buddhism. Sodoksa Temple. It was established during the late Baekje period by Buddhist monk Songje. Located on the foot of Doksungsan Mountain in Yesan and renovated by the renowned Goryeo monk Naong year 1320 to 1376. It is one of the Korea's oldest existing building whose date of construction is clearly known. In addition to its fine structural merit and beauty, it is also a rare traditional architectural work whose date of construction is clearly recorded. Just what I've said earlier, that making it very important part of the Korean architectural heritage. Gangwon-do Naksansa Temple. Naksansa Temple is located 4 km north of Naksan Beach and boasts a 1,300-year history. It is a temple built by Huizang, the ambassador of the 30th king of Silla period, 57 BC to 935 AD. And inside there is a 7-floor stone tower, Dongjong Hongyemun, together with several other cultural assets. It was named Naksansa Temple by Huizang at the spot where he learned the prayer, Gwanseng Busal, from Bosal after he returned from studying abroad in Chinese Tang Kingdom.
Woljongsa Temple. It is located in Odaisan National Park in Pyeongchang, Gangwon-do, and Woljongsa Temple means Moon Vitality Temple in English. It was first built in 643 CE by Jajang, a Silla dynasty monk. One of the interesting things that happened was the temple has been destroyed many times. In 1377 and 1833, several buildings burnt down, and more recently, the temples was ravaged in the 1950s as collateral of Korean War. In 1964, it was restored and become a peaceful temple complex today. Hongryona, building above a cave at a cliff in Nagsana, Seocho, Korea. It is known as the smallest Buddhist temple. It was also built above the stone cave by Huizang, and under the sanctuary floor, there is a 10-centimeter hole, which you can peep through the view of the sea. Seoul Floating Island. It is the world's first floating island that is located on Seoul, South Korea. H Architecture and Heian Architecture collaborated to create this project. As a whole, the SFI covers with the area of 10,421 meters squared, and the entire project gives out radiant vibes that feature glass, steel, and woodwork. Since the island float on water, they are intricately designed, and to launch them into the Han River means using rollers and casters. The design concept stems from the stages of a blooming flower: a seed, bud, and blossom. It is called Seventh Dungdungsom, which translates to 3 floating lanterns island. There are 3 separate man-made floating islands: Vista, that is contains a performance hall and the Moonlight Trail. Viva, meaning cheers, is a purported to be the entertainment island. And finally, Terra. Despite its name, it is the island meant for water leisure. They are all connected by pleasant bridges and are best visited at night when illuminated by colorful light shows.
Haeundae-udong Hyundai Airport. Daniel Leveskin designed it, which is located in Busan, South Korea. These megalopolis monsters' enormous size and design are both eye-opening and intimidating at the same time. The 6 new towers have been sculpted to reflect the ocean's spectacular beauty and strength. The building's curved shape plays with traditional Korean architectural notions. Natural beauty such as an ocean wave's grace, a flower petal's unique composition, or a ship's wind-filled sails are all examples of natural beauty. Ewha Women's University. The Campus Valley. Ewha Campus Complex. It was built in 2008 with the plan and creation of Dominique Perrault, Architecture, and BAM Architecture. It is designed to be a completely eco-friendly underground campus building that will symbolize the vision of sustainable design for the 21st century. The structure is intended to reduce energy costs. ECC is a low-tech building design focused on saving water, energy, and maximizing the recycling of spending. Dongdaemun Design Plaza and Culture and History Park. Iraqi architect Zaha Hadid is the first and one of only 2 women to have won the Pritzker Prize. There was a bit of fuss when a foreign woman was chosen as the architect for this project, and even more when she foxed in her metronymic landscape designs without ever having visited Seoul. However, it does add a touch of international class to this gloomy neighborhood. The adjacent park, however, is ready and provides a pleasant oasis from the chaos of the surrounding areas. The design shows a commitment to preserve history. DDP is an important link between the city's contemporary culture, historic, and emerging nature. The National Museum of Korea. This is the most important museum in the country's history and culture. Robert Siegel Architizer designed it. The architecture of Korea is both respected and reinterpreted in the design. In terms of floor space, it is the world's 6th largest museum with over 220,000 objects on display. This museum included enthralling artifacts and artworks to help visitors grasp the depth of pride that Koreans have in their distinct culture by immersing themselves in it. Did you know that the old name of Korea was Goryeo? The name Korea derives from the name Goryeo. The name Goryeo itself was first used by the ancient kingdom of Goguryeo, which was considered as a great power of East Asia during its time, in the 5th century as a shortened form of its name. A unified Korea was Korea called before they split. For centuries before the division, the peninsula was a single, unified Korea ruled by generations of dynastic kingdoms. In the United States, we use all kinds of different colors of ink in our writing, while it is most professional to use black or blue ink, especially for formal writing. Americans are not shy with other colors, especially red. However, this is not the case in South Korea. Did you know that if you see a name written in red, it's a pretty bad sign? It signifies that a person is dead or on the way to being dead.